Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Wanted to talk about not waning. Do not wait to file any claims that you might have in your mind. Why? The reason why is because changes are coming. Remember, we have changes coming to mental health, respiratory, auditory, and neurological rating schedules. Don't wait. File now. Put your intent to file in now if you have not, and start packaging up your file. Start working on getting everything together. So this is essentially a gentle reminder, and I'm going to go over some of the changes, the majority of which I believe are bad. There are a couple good things in the rating schedule changes, but I'm going to front load it with this. If you file now, either an intent to file or your claim, and then the rating schedule changes, which it's supposed to change in August of 2025, and then they decide your claim, the VA is supposed to weigh you against both rating schedules and give you the better of the two. You don't get many opportunities like this, so take advantage of it. With that, let's jump into it. Before I do, though, I want to throw out a special thank you to Ray Sandinato. Sorry if I messed it up. 2462. Ray Sandinato, thank you so much for the super comment, super chat. I truly appreciate your support very much. Ray Sandinato. I said it 3 times to if I messed it up, I messed it up 3 times. So look, it's hard enough for me to say like easy words. So I hope I got it right for you. If not, I don't know. Send me something phonetically and I'll try better. All right, thanks. Let's jump into it here. The VA had proposed changes back in 2022. There are naysayers out there, right? Like, they're just saying they're going to change, whatever. No, it really does happen. And the VA has changed probably already, 8 or 10 of the rating schedules. There's maybe, in the high teens total of different rating schedules, different body systems and so forth. So they have been changing rating schedules for the past, 8 years or so. And they said they were going to update them all. The most recent one that went into effect was the digestive system rating schedule, if everyone remembers. That was about a year ago, and it really, really destroyed the GERD rating for individuals. They basically took away all of the symptoms for GERD that you really experience and only left the difficulty swallowing and esophageal stricture, the tightening of the esophagus. And really that was the only things that it's now rated on. And it's actually rated as esophageal stricture, even though it's got its own diagnostic code for gastroesophageal reflux disease now. But they basically just say it's the same rating schedule and criteria as esophageal stricture, which is too bad. So people miss opportunities because life gets in the way. Make this a priority. I'm going to go through the news release here real quick as the gentle reminder and give you my thoughts as well, kind of here along the way. So the first question that usually comes up is, am I going to be reduced because of the rating schedule change? I've done videos on this in the past. No, the VA cannot and will not simply drop your rating because of a rating schedule change. In fact, they will weigh you against the prior rating schedule, the one that you were rated against originally. At least that's what they say in their news release. So the laws don't quite say that, but whatever. This is VA's interpretation, I guess, and it's what they said in their news release. So in any case, let's jump into it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. All right, so in a news release posted back February of 2022, it takes a few years to get things going, the VA announced these changes. Now, I'm going to jump into the meat here. And so they put this all into the Federal Register, and they allowed time for comments, which that time period has come and went a long time ago. So this specific news release is talking about 2 body systems: respiratory system, ear, nose, and throat conditions, and auditory disorders, as well as mental disorders. It says veterans and the public will have the 60 days, but that's gone to put any sort of comments. And the problem is that nobody knows that this stuff happens, and so nobody puts any comments except for the 5 people that happen to pay attention. All right, so since these are proposed changes, and they still are, even though this news release came out in 2022, these changes are still proposed. They're not final. The final date has been moved twice. The original was, I can't even remember, June of 2024. Then they kicked it to April 2025 as a final date. Now they have it as August of 2025 as the final date for these changes. Right now they're still proposed. So since these are proposed changes, they will not affect evaluations of any veteran currently receiving compensation for an impacted disability. Instead, this is an opportunity for the veterans and the public to just kind of be aware of what's happening, right? And so I'm skipping over some of this stuff and jumping into it. So some of the proposed changes, and this is a big one, include modernizing the evaluation criteria for sleep apnea by evaluating it based on the symptoms responsiveness to treatment. If symptoms are fully treated by a CPAP machine or other treatment, a veteran would be rated at 0%. In today's world, this is the proposed change. In today's world, for those of you that have sleep apnea, if you're prescribed a CPAP machine, for example, you're rated 50%, regardless of how good the treatment is. You could be totally responsive and very good with your treatment, thank goodness, and you still get a 50% rating. Moving forward, if this goes through as proposed, any new claim after it becomes the new rating schedule for anybody that files a claim then and is held to that standard, if their treatment is adequate, well, they're going to get a 0% for sleep apnea. Now, moving on. So it says here, VA will award progressively higher percentage evaluations based on how symptomatic the condition remains after treatment. This will bring the rating criteria for sleep apnea more closely in line with the stated purpose of the rating schedule, which is to provide evaluations based upon average impairment of earning capacity. So I always have a problem with this earning capacity thing because I think that almost everybody who hears it, including lawmakers, automatically just think of annual earnings, period. My approach to earning capacity is, sure, annual earning, but let's also do lifetime earning. Am I able to continue to be a productive earning income citizen, right? As long as I would have been able to if I didn't have this service-connected condition. That's the real question, right? Is the lifetime earning capacity, not earning capacity, because that just makes people think, well, you can earn this much per year. Good for you. Well, yeah, but how long can you earn that? And what is your lifetime earning capacity? Is it going to be shortened? Most likely, yes. I would love to see a study on life expectancy for veterans versus, civilians. Then you could figure out a real earning capacity. All right, moving on. For respiratory conditions such as asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, the proposed rules would slightly lower the requirements for a 100% rating. That's a good thing. So that means that if you are less than 100% for COPD or asthma, you might be able to get your rating higher. You'll have to read into it once it goes into effect. For tinnitus, this one's not good. The proposed changes would recognize that symptom within the veteran's broader ailment and provide service-connected compensation for tinnitus through the disease to which it is attributed. So that's a lot of words. The reality is that the VA is eliminating the diagnostic code for tinnitus and the ability to be rated for tinnitus as a standalone condition. And instead, they're saying tinnitus is just a symptom of some other thing you have going on. Maybe it's TBI. Maybe it's Meniere's disease. Maybe you have hearing loss with tinnitus. Now that's the only one that's a little bit weird to me. The way the VA is looking at this is if you have hearing loss with tinnitus and your hearing loss is very minimal and you get a 0% for hearing loss, they'll still award you a 10% for tinnitus. So there's a little bit of a way that you could still get tinnitus if you have some very slight, but I'll tell you, for those that have ever filed for hearing loss, it is a difficult rating schedule to obtain any sort of substantial rating on. I mean, you have to have some real, it's legit hearing loss. So just because you talk a little bit loud and you turn up the TV, that's probably not going to be enough for the VA. But if you can get them to say that you get a 0% and you have tinnitus, you could still get that 10%. Now, here's my thing. I don't like the fact that they're eliminating it as a standalone condition. I think some people may have, tinnitus is a real thing and there could be 1,000 different reasons. So you're going to have to tie it all back to some sort of a ailment that you have that you're going to have to tie back to your time in service. And it's going to eliminate, for the most part, unless it's like a TBI or something, because of noise. I got this because of noise, right? I don't know. It's going to be a little bit different. So in other words, if you have not filed for tinnitus, probably file for it now and just have it. It's a nice one to have, especially if you're not 100%. You're going to hear a lot of people talking about high value claims and focus on everything that you can file for, that you can get service connected, because every nickel counts at the end of the day. And I guess I should say dime. Every dime counts at the end of the day as you're trying to work toward a higher rating. And in some cases, you can hang secondaries on these things. So in any case, let's move on. This one's kind of depends who you talk to. Okay, mental health. The proposed rules for mental health conditions would increase the minimum disability rating from 0% to 10%. I think that's a good thing. Now there's no 0%. So now automatically you're going to get a 10% no matter what. All right. The rule would get rid of the dated part of the rating schedule that prevents a veteran from getting 100% rating for mental health conditions if they're able to work. That's a good thing. So there's two good things out the gate. They're saying that they're going to make it easier to get 100% if you have the ability to work, because there is the criteria for the 100% currently that says that you have to be basically not able to have gainful employment and you have social and occupational impairments, that type of stuff. So they're going to eliminate that. That's a good thing. So let's move on. How are they going to rate it? VA will ensure that veterans get the compensation they deserve and need when it comes to mental disorders. Talks about how they're going to do this. And it says what they're looking for is, rather than assigning an evaluation based on the number and type of symptoms present, these changes would evaluate mental disorders based on how impactful the disability is across 5 domains of impairment. That's cognition, interpersonal interactions and relationships, task completion, life activities and navigating environments is number 4, and self-care is the last one. Now, I think that that's going to be a positive thing because now you have kind of 5 different avenues. If you're severely impacted in one, that's a 0 through 4 rating schedule in each one of the 5 domains, 4 being the most impactful, completely debilitated. If you're a 4 in one of the 5 categories, you're 100%. Well, let's say you don't have any 4s. If you have 2 3s, 3 level of impairment in the 5, you have 2 of them that are a 3, you're 100%. Now, there's a little caveat, or not caveat, there's a little disclosure here at the very end talking about the safety aspects for rating schedule changes. And I want to just share this with you because it is on here. It says, once again, there will be no change to any veteran's current rating based on these proposed changes. When the proposed changes are finalized, Again, at this point, we're looking at August of 2025. Veterans who currently receive compensation for a service-connected condition can apply for increased compensation. And even if a veteran's symptoms no longer warrant the current evaluation they have based on the finalized changes, no reductions shall be made unless an improvement in the veteran's disability is shown to have occurred based on the last schedule used to assign their evaluation. Now, since September of 2017, the VA has updated, 9 rating schedules. So since 2017, they have updated those rating schedules. Actually, you can add one more on there, which is the digestive system one, so 10. So they've updated 10 rating schedules thus far. These are coming. Don't wait. Do what you need to do now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.